Good morning, everyone. This is Bremster, and today I'm coming to you with a puzzle called Anti-Night Stripes by Craig 9. Apparently, this is Craig 9's first ever puzzle, and it was posted to Logic Masters Germany, and I found out about it through a recommendation. So I reached out to Craig 9 and asked if I could do the puzzle. I know nothing about it other than it's Craig 9's first puzzle, and that it was recommended to me, so that's enough for me. So, yeah, let's, on the channel, I am going to do a name readout shortly for the people who submitted to Skilling Sudoku and also for people who've done caging constraints, and then I'm going to try and figure out how to get into a rotation for that. I know people like to have their names read out, but because I record in advance, I've not been sure how to do that. So I'm going to try and figure that out. If you do want to submit solution codes and everything, please do. All of the details are below to submit solution codes. You just send in row 3 to my contact email address below saying you're submitting solution codes. Yeah, I try and keep the packs not specific to the channel so that they can exist separate to the channel in future. Yeah, we'll see how all that goes. But yeah, it's always a bit weird because I often will record as much as a week and a half in advance to have people, like, they'll submit a code and they may not see it for a couple of weeks. So their name read out for a couple of weeks. I don't know how to deal with that. The Sudoku problem series, I'm getting a lot of really interesting submissions from people. A lot of them are very, very similar, but that's not a bad thing. So I'm going to see how all of this plays out. I'm still refining the series and trying to figure out how to make it work. I'm getting suggestions that I definitely want to consider, but I'm also incredibly pressed for time at the moment. So yeah, everything is weird. I do need more puzzles though, not just problems, particularly ones that I can knock out in about half an hour, that aren't like too way out there, not heavy coloring or anything like that. I don't mind that sort of stuff occasionally, but I've been getting a lot of them recently, some of which I just cannot do. I've actually failed a few videos recently and had to move on to something else because I just don't have time to put the time in. But anyway, let's look at Anti-Night Stripes by Craig 9. It's always good to see something from a first puzzle from a setter, particularly when it's come with a recommendation. So what do we have? We have normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. Cells that are a knight's move apart in chess may not contain the same digit. So if we use this 5 as an example, it would normally, that in the column, the row, and the box, because I just explained that, can't contain the same digit. But it also means these cells, which are a knight's move away in chess, cannot contain the same digit. Because if I was to highlight a knight's move, which is 2 in one direction and 1 in another, in any particular way from this cell, you'll notice that I will always land on one of those blue cells, or from one of the blue cells I will always land on this 5. So I cannot actually place a 5 in any of these blue cells either, and I find this is a really cool way of remembering that. Along Thermos, digits must strictly increase from the bulb to the tip. What that means is this digit will be higher than this digit will be higher than this digit will be higher than this, but it doesn't mean, pardon me, that they have to be in order. So this could be 3 higher than this, it just has to be higher. But whatever this is, this then has to be higher again. And cells separated by a black dot, of which we've got 1, must have a 1 to 2 ratio. So this is one of these is going to be double the other. Not all black dots are given, so there's no negative constraint on this. It would be perfectly fine for this to be 1, 2. That would be okay. It's just this one will be a double. That's what we've got. I'm going to restart the puzzle. I left the highlighting in to remind me to restart the timer. Let's give this a shot. So there's a few things I'm noticing here. So the first one is on Thermos, you can only put 1s in bulbs with a normal Thermo anyway. So what that would mean is 1 could only go in one of those 2 in this row, but I can't put a 1 there because there's 1 in the box. So this becomes a 1. Now, then I want to start thinking about 2. 2 could only go in one of those spots because the only digit lower than 2 would be a 1, but I can't put a 2 there, so this becomes a 2. And then I would think about 3. The only 3, if I put 3 in any of these, I would need to put something lower than 3 here, and I don't have them. So 3 is in one of those spots, but I can't put 3 there because of the knight's move. So this becomes 3. 4 then goes in one of those, and that's fine. And after that, it starts loosening up a little bit. Now, this is 1, 2, or 3 because it has to be lower than 4. This can't be 5 or 6, so this is 7, 8, or 9. 9 is in one of those two, but I don't have a solid restriction on that. There's probably something else, but let's see. Now, this... Now, that's got some freedom as well. This is 7, 8, or 9. So I've got 2, 7, 8, 9s. And this is also 1, 2, 3. Because it has to be less than 6, but I can't use 4 or 5. 3 is down here. And it's not there because that 3 sees it. So 3 is on this thermo, and it's not here because if it was here, then I would have to have something lower than 3, and I don't have 1, 2. So this is actually the 3. That's kind of cool. Got to remember the knight's moves. Actually, 1 and 1, this has been blatant from the beginning. I just didn't see it. I was looking in other places. This is something where people turn around and say, well, why didn't you immediately jump to this? I was looking at other things. People see things in different orders. 1 has to be down here somewhere, but 1 has to go in the bulb of a thermo. So this becomes a 1. Which does leave 1 in quite a few places. It leaves 1 in those. Now, actually, that's actually cool, because 1 can't go there, 1 can't go partway along a thermo, so 1 is in one of those two, which means this is not a 1 anymore. 1 is actually in one of those two, which knocks a 1 out of there, but I'm not sure if that's doing anything yet. Like, 1 can't be in any of those, because all 3 of those see that 1. I'm tempted to mark this quadruple because this is going to be limited because these are 4, 6, 7, and 9. Now, this was 4, 3, 2, 1 busted, so this is not a 4. 6, however, might work. Seven can't go in any of those. And it can't go there. And it can't go there. 7 is in one of those two. 7 can't go there because they're all seen by either Sudoku or Knight's move. It can't go there because it's seen by Sudoku. 7 here would go 8, 9 busted, and 7 here would go 8, 9, and I can't put 9 in the box. So 7 is in one of those two, which takes the 7 out of those. Now, I think it might be the same for 9. 9 can't go there or there. Oh, it's not quite. 9 can't go there. But 9 could go there. So 9 is in one of those 3. Nine is in one of those two. But after that, it starts getting quite free. Like I know 8 is in one of those 4. Four is in one of those. Yeah, there's a trick here I've missed. Oh, it's the same thing with the ones. I missed it again. 2 has to go down here, and the only thing lower than 2, so that's a 2. Which means this is not a 2, this is a 3, which puts a 3 down here. Which means one of these is a 1 or a 2, or not necessarily if that's the 3. Three, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3 is down here. This is not a 3. Now, this can't be a 1. And that's a little tricky to see. because one can't be here or here. So one is in one of those three, and that cell sees all three of those. So this has a minimum of two. But that doesn't do much. So it means one is in one of those two spots. Now, if that's a 1, that's a 2. But it still leaves 1 to be lower than 3 here, or if I put 3 there, I'm not even restricted. This can't be 1, 2, 3. So this is at least 4. 4, 5, 6, 7. No, it's not 7, because it sees that. Keep coming back to this dot, but it doesn't give me anything yet that I can see. That's 1, that's 2, that's 1, and that would put 1 there. I haven't done a Knight's Move puzzle where I've had to do lots of colouring to do eliminations for a while. And what I mean by that is, so 1 can't go there. So 1 in this box is limited to those cells. 1 in this box is limited to those cells. 1 here. So I mark those. This 1 knocks 1 out of there. 1 is in those. Sorry, those. So 1 is in one of those 2 in this row. Which isn't doing much. 1 down here by default is in one of those, and down here it's in one of those. And then you start looking for things that are seen by both. Like, this is the row that seems to be most restricted, and I'm not seeing anything. Well, that can't be a 1, because if that was a 1, I couldn't put a 1 in this row at all. So that's not a 1. If that's a 1, 1 is over here. But they don't see, like that. That doesn't seem to be doing much. If that's a 1, that's a 1. I'm not a fan of solving Knight's Move puzzles this way, but I'm not seeing anything. This could just be me trying to solve in a rush. Hang on, this cell. Because this has a maximum of 5, 4, and 3. So this is 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, and 3, 4, 5. But this can't be 3 or 4. This is a 2, this is a 1. There we go. See, all I had to do is pay attention. So this is a 1. So now 1 is in... I wish I hadn't got rid of those colours now, but it's okay. 1 is in one of these 2. Can't be there because of the Knight's Move. 2 is in one of these 3. Now 2 is in one of those, but not there. I'm actually going to mark that because that's restricted this, because I can't put 2 on this. I can't put 4 on this because I can't put 2 on this, and I can't put 1 on this. This has to be 3, 6 now, because if I do 1, 2, I can't put 2 in either of those cells. If I do 2, 4, I can't put 2 in either of those cells, and I can't put 8. This is 3, 6, which means they can't be 3 or 6. But does that... Well, that's not 3 anymore. So one of these has to be 1 or 2, and it can't be that one. That's not 3. That's 3. This is 1 or 2. This 3 knocks 3 out of that and that. So 3 is in one of those two and it can't be there. That's the 3, that's the 6. So going through that again, because that can be a little tricky. 3 can't be there. This 3 knocks 3 out of there and I can't put 3 in here. So 3 is in one of those, but because this is a 3-6 pair, I can't put the 3 there. So the 3 in this box has to be in one of those and it can't be there or there or there or in those. So this is the only place for the 3 in the box, which makes this the 6. That knocks 6 out of there and out of there. So 6 in this box can't be there. 6, 7, 8, 9 doesn't work. So I can't put 6s in one of those two in this box. Now this is 8, 7, 6, 5. So 1, 2, 4, 5. And it can't be 1, 2. So 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8. So this is the only place for 9. Oh, that's been there forever. Oh my lord, I'm an idiot. What am I? I'm 12 minutes into the puzzle, and that's been there since the very beginning. So that's given you heaps of opportunity to provide comments. So this has been a 9 for a very long time, which means these are not 9. It's the same logic I used for 1s at the top. And then I could have done it with 8s. This can't be 8, so this had to be the 8. This couldn't be the 7, so the 7 had to go next to a top digit, and this couldn't be the 7, so this had to be the 7. And now it's much more restricted. But yeah, but now I know that has to be the 3 because this is the 4, 5, 6 triple, so this is the 3. Yep, sorry everyone, but you know, I did it up here, I didn't do it down here. 7 now has to go here because I can't put 7 in any of those. So this is the 7. I'll catch up. Tempted to look at this quad now because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this can't be 1 or 8. Can't be 1 because it has to be higher than 3. Can't be 8. There's 1 in the box. And this can't be 1. 2, 3, 4. Can't be 4 because this would have to be 3. Now, if this is 5, this would be 4. And that would have to be 2 or 3. This can't be. This is 8. This is 9. Which puts 9 in here. There's no 8 in here. Two, I'm not sure about. 1 can't go there. 1 can go there. So it's 1, 2, 4, 5. So this is 4 or 5. That's 1, 2, 4 or 5. These, that's 2, 4 or 5. So this is actually going to be important because now I know in this I've got to put 4, 5, 8 and 9. So this has to be 9 and 8 and this has to be 4, 5 because I have to put 9 and 8 in here. And if I don't put them at the top of the thermos, I'm going to run out of spot. This gives me a 4, 5 pair. So 1, 2, 6. So these are 1, 2, and 6. Now that can't be 6. And that can't be 6. That's a 1, 2 pair. So this is the 6. This is not the 6. So that's a 4, 5 pair. This becomes the 6. So this is a 1 or a 2, which means I have to put 1 and 2 in here. Now I've got to put 1, 2 in here and 1, 2 in here. Now that's going to be a problem. That's an interesting Knight's Move problem. Now, this can't be the 2. But that is an interesting Knight Move problem because I think it means that both of those have to be 1, 2. Because if I make that a 1, then that becomes a 1. If I make that a 1, not sure. I'm pretty certain I've seen this before. Like, if those are the 1, 2s... Yeah, if these are 1, 2, I could put one there, but I can't put the other one in the end. So let's do it with colours. If this is green and yellow, and I make this one say green, I've got nowhere to put yellow. So I end up having to put yellow here so that I can put yellow in one of these two. So this does have to be a 1 or a 2 because whichever one I put here eliminates from the outer bit. So if I don't put these in the middle, then I end up with whichever one is in the opposing corner to this one can't go anywhere. So these have to be a 1, 2. It's an interesting little Knight's Move pattern you don't see very often. This is a 7, 8, 9 for the row. Now, can I eliminate those down? I'm not sure. This is a weird little puzzle. So this is 1, 2, 4, 5. I'm never against marking a quad. Well, I am sometimes. 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not a 6. So I've still got to put... Well, this can't be a 4, because then this would have to be a 2 or a 3. So it's not a 4. So let's actually do this. This is 5, 6, 7. So this is 4, 5, 6. Now this has a maximum of 7. This has a maximum of 6. So this is 4, 5, 6. And this is 5, 6, 7. But there doesn't seem to be anything I can eliminate from those. Huh. There'll be a pesky Knight Move thing. Like this one right here, that 4 is looking at that. So that becomes a 5, that becomes a 4, which takes 4 out of those. So this is a 1, 2, 5. This becomes a 4, which takes 4 out of those. This becomes a 1, 5 pair. So that's the sort of stuff I need to actually see in order to be able to solve the problem. So 4 is in one of those two because I can't put it there because there is no 3.5. There's no 9 there since I put that in. There's no 8 there. That's a 7. See, this is the sort of thing. This becomes an 8, 9, which means I can't put 8, 9 there or there. This is a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. Well, that's not a 6 for multiple reasons. What if I could put in here? 3, 5, 6, 8. So 3 is in one of those two. So these are from 5, 6, 8. That can't be 5. So this is 3, 6, or 8. I'm really not getting traction on this. I've got to put an 8 and a 9 in here. One of them has to be over here because I can't put an 8-9 pair in here without breaking that. So there's an 8 or a 9, but I don't know which over here. That can't be an 8. So there's an 8 in one of those three. If I put an 8 there, I put a 9 there, but I'm not seeing a problem with that. Those contain 5s, so that is a 1. Because if I put a 5 here, I knock 5 out of all possible places I can put a 5. That's a 1. That's a 5. This is Knight's Move stuff I'm just not seeing. The 5 goes there. The 1 takes the 1 out of there. So this becomes a 1. This becomes a 2. This becomes a 1. So this is a 2-5 pair. There's no 1 here. So this is now the 1. And this is a 2. Which means that's not a 2. Now, can I do more with 1s? Yeah, this 1 means that's not the 1. This is the 1. And that's all the 1s. So 2... Yeah, I'm not sure. 4, 6, 5 is in one of those two. 5 is right there. 5 is not there, so 5 is in this row. This 5 sees both of those. That's a 5. So this is now a 6-9 pair. So what else can I do with 5s, I think? 5, 5, 5 is in one of those two. Man, I'm finding this tricky. Fun, but tricky. 2. So this is now down to a quad because I've got a 4, 6 pair. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 7, 8, 9. Neither of those can be 8s because of that 8. So 8 is in one of those two. That's not a 3. So 3 is in one of those two. Seven, 9. That's not a 6 anymore. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. The 8 is definitely in one of those two. Can I go 8, 9? That would make that a 9. One of those would be a 9, but I'm not sure which. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I get the feeling this is an easy puzzle that I'm just struggling with. That can't be an 8 or a 9. Right, because of this 8, 9, that can't be an 8, 9. So the 9 has to be over here. in this box because I can't put it partway along a thermo. I can't put it there without breaking that, and that's not a 9 because of that. So the 9 is over here. So the 9 is in one of these two. So they only really both see that, which isn't helping me. Okay, that's a thing. So that's a 4, which takes 4 out of that cell. So 7 is in one of those two, which would eliminate 7 from that cell. 4, does that do anything else? So 4 in this box now is in one of those. That's not 4. 5, 6. 9 over here feels like it's got to do more. There's no 9 there, so 9 is in one of those two. And 9 is in one of those. Oh, that 5 is looking at that. That's 4. That's 5. So that's 6. So this has to be higher than 6. So it's 7 and this is 5. There's no 7 in any of those. This is a 4, 6 pair. So this becomes a 5, which makes this 2 and this a 5. Okay, now to catch up with the stuff I've missed, which may be less than I hope. This is a quad. 4, 7, 8, 9. There's no 7 there. There's no 9 there. There's no 4 there. This is 7, 8, so this is 8, 9. Four, 6. 3, 7, 8. So in this column, 4 has to be in here. Because 4 is, yeah, 4, 4. 4 is in here, so this is not a 4. This is a 7, 8, 9. This 6 is looking up, making that the 4 and that the 6. So this is not the 4, this is the 4. So this is actually 6, 7, 8, 9, which means it's not 5. This is the 5. I'm just failing at Sudoku today. So this is 7, 8, 9. Um, 7, 8, 8, 9. 8 is in one of those two, so it's not there. This is a pair. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4 and 7. Desperately hoping something looks in. This is a triple. 1, 2, 8, 9. That's not a 9. Nine is here, so that's not 9. That's not 9 because of that one. I'm putting in pencil marks and not clearing off. There's another digit that's not here. 7. There's no 7 there. This is a 6, 8. So these are 3, 6, and 8. I've got to be more careful with my pencil marks. For some reason, I'm struggling today. I've got to take a break after I record. 3, 6, 8. So this is a 6, 8, 9 triple. That has to be a 7. So that's a 9. That's an 8. That's a 7. That 8... Okay, 9 comes out of all of those. So this is a 9. This is a 3, 7, 8. So this is an 8, according to my pencil marks. This is a 9. There's no 9 there. Now, 2, 8 means that can't... Yeah, this can't be an 8 because I've just put an 8 in the box. Right. Now, these are 2, 8, and 9. I'm just confirming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 2, 8, and 9. I'm just struggling like mad. 2, 8, and 9. 6, 9. 4. 7 looks at that. That's 3. That's 7, which makes that 4 and that 7. The 4 makes this 6 and this 4. The 6 takes 6 out of there. Now, that 9 means that's not 9. This is a 2, 8 pair, so this becomes the 3. There's no 3 there. 6, 8 means I can't put 8 into either of those, so this becomes the 9, this becomes the 2, this becomes the 6, this becomes the 8, this becomes the 9, this becomes the 6. The 2 looks back making this 8 and this 2, which looks over making that 8. And that is the correct solution to anti-night stripes, which I had a lot of trouble with. I mean, I missed this for a good 15 minutes, and that was exactly the same logic as I used to break in at the top. And then I struggled with anti-night way more than I normally do. Maybe I'm wearing my wrong glasses. No, they're the right ones. Weird. Yeah, very, very weird, but a very cool puzzle, and not a bad first one. For someone's first puzzle, struggling with anti-night is always a challenge, and it kind of took me back to my old days of how do I solve anti-night puzzles, and going back to basics is never a bad thing. I hope you found that one a little bit more approachable than I did, or at least a little bit less of a scanning problem, but we all have our off days, and I'm obviously in the middle of one of mine, so I'm going to take a short break before I go into something else. And yeah, I hope you're enjoying everything that we're doing, and that you check out all of the other content on this channel and on many of the others. Some of the stuff Memrista's been doing is great. I've really been enjoying Zetamath streams recently. Yeah, it's all been really, really cool. So thanks everyone for watching, and as always, good luck with your solving.